Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426, and today we have the review of the newly released Master Grade Gundam Zaku Warrior Lunamaria Hawke custom version. Now this came out yesterday in Korea, so I'm assuming in Japan it came out on Friday, while in Korea usually it's like a day gap, so yeah, Saturday in Korea. So I finished building this last night, and I definitely loved the main build of the main mobile suit. It was definitely a solid build. I had zero issues, and there's not many parts, or I think it basically had zero tight parts where I have to worry about them, like breaking them. But this thing did not have any of those aspects, and yeah, and this thing had some interesting aspects that I wasn't really expecting, or extra details that I wasn't really expecting as well. So anyway, let's get on to the review. So I would like to mention that this review might go like the way how I usually review figures, because everything is fine, but posing was that cannon on the back is kind of hard for me, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna waste a lot of time trying to fiddle around in front of the camera. So yeah, I'll do the way how I usually do figures on regarding that part. All right, so let's talk about components. So first of all, I would like to mention this. I think this is my first master grade, or it could be the first or maybe second, but this is the first master grade, or one of those master grades I have seen in a long time that does not come with any leftover parts. Yes, no leftover parts. You use every single piece that's inside the box, or technically, yeah. But and this kit does not use any polycaps. Yes, this unexpectedly, no polycaps in this on this model kit. So interesting. So let's talk about components. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously the Gundam Zaku Warrior, or the Zaku Warrior base mobile suit in Lunamaria Hawke's custom color. So a lot of people were asking me regarding the color, whether it's more of a pinkish pink or more of a reddish pink. The best way I can say is it's technically pink, but more on the red side. So yeah. So not in terms of like Char Zaku pink, but a little bit more stronger than that. So a little bit more reddish to that. So here's some equipment. So first of all, or stuff. So first of all, we get the pilot, very small, and then there's technically another pilot suit version inside the mobile suit. But yeah, as I mentioned, since it's wearing a pilot suit, it's not really noticeable. So here we have the beam tomahawk or axe. Now this is one of the bad news regarding the, how should I say, the model kit. Now, as far as I know, when the beam axe or beam tomahawk is not being used, it has to be stored in. It's usually stored in the shield. For some reason, this model kit does not have that feature, so you cannot put this in the shield. I mean, if you were to, I would assume that you have to fold. This part would have to fold, but that gimmick is not in this. So you just snap two pieces together and then put the beam parts. Also, regarding hands, I already attached the multi-purpose hand on this one just to save time. So we get a set of multi-purpose hands. Here's the left side. I just want to mention that. And here we have the beam rifle. Very nice. I actually do like the design. We have a handle right over here. We have a white part here. And then we have the ammo pack or energy pack right over here. So usually when you're first building this, it will be on top like this. So you can lock it into place. Or what you can do is you are able to store this onto the back of the mobile suit, but in order to do that, you can change the position. So you can change the position of where the energy cap is. So you can put it on this side or on the other side. So depending on the hand, you can change the position. But if you're going to store it, it has to be on this side while the peg is on the other side. So when it's on the side part, it doesn't really lock into place. And once again, I'm just going to show you guys how this works. So on the back skirt, you can slide this section down, and there's a hole. And on the rifle, there's a peg. All you need to do is just plug it in. Now, on the box art or a lot of stuff, it shows that you can have both the backpack and the rifle stored together, and I don't think that's really possible unless I'm doing something wrong. But we'll get there. I'll show you what I mean by that. And here we have more hands. So other than on the model kit itself, I have the fully open hand for left and right. So that's one set. And then we have the multi-purpose set, so that's the second set of hands. So for the third set of hands, we have a trigger finger for left and right. So being the Seed Master Grade kits, these are the swappable finger ones, not the moving finger ones. And I'm really glad a lot of people do agree that this is actually a more stable connection compared to the moving fingers. And then here we have the fists, which I don't think, well, I won't be demonstrating, but I just want to tell you guys the fists are there. Other than that, we have a action-based connector. And then regarding the backpack, so here we have the backpack entirely. Yeah, the backpack, this was definitely fun building and has a lot of interesting aspects regarding it, so I will be mentioning that part, but posing with the gun is not as easy as I thought, so yeah. I'll get into the I'll show you guys like how the gun moves on the articulation part. And then here we have a sticker sheet. We only get one sticker regarding the actual sticker sheet, is the mono eye. It's the pink mono eye, and that's the only sticker. Very good. But here's the weird thing. Now this might be the aspect where that might discourage a lot of people, which I don't really understand, is that they give you a sticker decal sheet, not a dry transfer. Water slides I don't even expect, because water slides are only included in Verka kits or at best premium Bandai master grade kits. For me, master grade kits, usually I'm more used to seeing dry transfers on master grade kits. I forgot what the dual Gundam had, but yeah, we have a sticker decal sheet. So yeah, and you can see there's a blue one that's missing right over here. That's actually on the gun at the moment. I'll point that out when I show you guys what's going on. But we have a lot of nice symbols going on. So yeah, I never really cared for these much extra details because it was never seen in the anime. So yeah. Okay, so now let's get on to the articulation regarding the master grade kit. So let me get rid of the stand. So let's start with the head. As I mentioned, it's pink, but more of a reddish pink. And I'm definitely hoping that we would get more variants, at least the slash Zaku Warrior or slash Zaku Phantom or something like that. But yeah, I would love to see more variants in either retail or premium Bandai. So here we have the head. So the head definitely looks nice, and then the head doesn't have that much movement, surprisingly. So it can go down that much and up. Okay, but 360 twist, for some reason it cannot go 360. I think it's just armor colliding. So I'm trying to move the head, and it doesn't really move that well. So you can see it's colliding at the moment, so you can't really move the head 360. But what you can do is you can take off the helmet. Well, you're supposed to be able to take off the helmet, and oh boy. Well, okay, I'm just gonna explain this. So what you can do is, you can see there's a visor inside. So what you can do is take off the helmet and then move the mono eye. So like, so yeah, you have control on the mono eye, but problem is the helmet does not come off that easily. So yeah, sorry about that aspect. Mine's just too tight at the moment. Okay. So let's look at the main body. The main body is pretty okay. I really like the beefy look on it, because on the anime and art drawing, it's kind of, how should I say, very slim looking. But in this master grade version, it's really beefy, in a way, kind of beefy, or I think it could be the legs. But yeah. So we have the cockpit section right over here. You can technically open this. There we go. You can open and reveal the pilot inside. And everything you see is all color separated pieces. So, and then we have a nice ab crunch going on. I remember this while building, so we have a nice ab crunch. And then the main body is technically on the peg, but it cannot go 360 because it's like colliding with most of the pieces right over here. So yeah. But then again, I don't think the body needs to go 360 for a mobile suit, because that really doesn't make any sense. And regarding the shoulders, the shoulder articulation is pretty good. So you can first go forward like that. Mostly it's just the armor colliding. If it weren't for these armors, you could technically go a little bit more, but yeah. And then you can also go up. Without the actually armor parts, I think you can go technically more up regarding the shoulders, but the arms itself can move a little bit more, or kind of, because on this side it's kind of colliding with that section right over here in the inside, but pretty good. And then 360 twist on the arm itself is possible, and the arms itself are on a peg, so 360 twist on the arm itself is also possible. Then we have a nice double jointed bend right over here, and then a ball jointed hand. Now, I would like to warn you guys, like, this is just what I did to mine, is that, okay, so this kit does not use any polycaps. So yeah, so even the ball joints, these are all plastic inside. When I first attached the ball jointed hand, it kind of felt a little bit too tight to the point where it wasn't really comfortable twisting the hand like this. So I did kind of scrape off the ball joint only a little bit, and now it works perfectly fine. But if I don't push it all the way in, it sometimes do fall off, but not too bad. I only had it like 1 or 2 times fall off. Okay, and then the other side of shoulder, some people were asking regarding is it sharp. Well, you can always sharpen it yourself, so I don't think that's a really big deal or issue regarding that. So yeah. And then the shoulder armor itself does move, as I just showed you guys, but I think this one moves a lot more, as you can see. So, oh yeah, so the shoulder armor does move, so you can move the arm a little bit more on this side. This one, obviously you can see it's colliding, so yeah, but I would like to mention that both arms are the same build, other than the shoulders, so you don't need to worry about that. And then, if it wasn't obvious, here we have the shield part. We have the three horns are also separated pieces. In the connection here there's a ball joint, and here's something interesting. So, well, these are not the interesting stuff, but we have the extra energy packs, but these are not for the gun, so these are not, you cannot really exchange them. But here's what we have: one ball joint here, connection here, and then we can do this. Yeah, we have one connection here, and here's a mid connection. The mid connection is not a ball joint, so don't try to twist it on here. But here, the main connection to the shield is a ball joint, so you can also move it around. So I find this kind of a really interesting, gimmick going on here. And for those who's going to question me regarding the Beam Tomahawk storing mechanism, it's not there. There's no space, so don't even try to argue with me. Okay, let's look at the back. So here is the base form backpack, or there's no actual backpack. We do have a nice thruster going on here. We have a nice kind of a really light purple color, and here we have the thruster that can move a little bit. Here, so here these 3 holes are the main connection for the backpack equipment. So yeah. And here's the back skirt. I really like how the back skirt works. Usually, in terms of most mobile suits, we would have the mid crotch section, and then there would be ball joints that would connect inside. But no, you can see there's these black pipes here, and each front skirt is connected to the pipes individually, so you can move them up. Same goes for the side skirts and the back skirt. So that's actually very nice. And regarding the grenades that are on the side, you can these are all separate pieces, the white, and you can take them out if you want to do so, but mine's currently a little bit tight. Come on, there we go. And I'm really glad that they're not just normal gray cylinders. They actually made it look like actual grenades. So that's one detail I was pretty happy about. Of course, on the inside, not so much. So yeah, the peg is on the white section. So okay, and then the leg articulation. Well, once again, I would like to mention we have this swivel gimmick where you can relocate the position of the thigh or leg if you want to do so. And it has a nice side swivel. The main connection is a peg, so it can go to the side 90 degrees. And then we have a nice side swivel going on here. And then we have a nice... Ooh, that was not uncomfortable. But we have a nice double jointed bend, almost a double jointed bend, I think. I think I can go more, but something's just blocking it. And I would like to mention these pipes. Now, these pipes were pre-built, meaning that I did not build these pipes together. They were pre-built, and they were on a sprue like how a pre-built inner frame RG kit would be. And these ball joints, these connections are all actual ball jointed connections. They're not like a single molded piece. They're all individually moving. So yeah, that's something I was not expecting as well. But the ones on the body and the head, they're not like these. So they're just plastic that looks like pipelines. So don't get the wrong idea. And then the feet are actually connected on a peg, but that can move in various ways. So we have a nice pivot. We have a nice toe bend, or kind of. There is a little bit bend, but not as much as you think. There we go. We have a nice toe bend. Although I'm not sure that's considered a toe bend anymore, but yeah. And then we have a flapping part right over on the feet. Building the legs were also pretty interesting because the way how they connect were kind of different. It's really hard to say, but you can see there's it's a single peg that's actually holding the side of the armor. So because of that, we can do this. You can flap around the side armor. I'm not sure if you can do it on this side, but basically the connection on the other side is also kind of similar. But I think it's because of the pipes are holding it doesn't really flap around that much. And while the grenade sections, those sections are white, and these parts are white. Like certain parts like these are like really like light purple violet colors. Alright, so we're done with the articulation on the main kit. let's talk about equipment. So as I mentioned, I put the axe hand on the, I already attached the finger parts on the axe so I can save time. So all you need to do is just swap out the fingers and you're good to go. And I do feel like this is a pretty efficient weapon. We have the beam on the front, and then we have a stabbing beam on the top, because I believe this is also meant for throwing. And then we have another section like a pickaxe thing on the other side. So definitely really efficient looking. Okay, and then so yeah, as I mentioned, I kind of scraped the ball joints just to make sure I can twist them, because when I first just pushed them in, they weren't really twisting that well, and I almost got that trauma that I used to have with the Alex. Those who don't know, when I was building the Alex 2.0, I did break the wrist because mine was just too tight, and I was trying to twist the wrist and it broke. So yeah. Okay, here we have the gun. Yeah, it's always difficult to do this in front of the camera, but so yeah. As you can see, the finger actually holds in pretty well of the weapon. It's a pretty snug fit, so you don't need to worry about the weapon becoming loose as long as you do it correctly. There we go. And here we have the gun. Of course, the trigger is kind of off center. There we go. Yeah. Now, one thing I've kind of found odd is that you have this handle right over here, but I've done all sorts of stuff to the point where I was trying to reach the other handle, and I can barely reach it even to this section. So I really don't know how you would do a double hand pose regarding this rifle. So yeah, that's one thing I just kind of found funny. Alright, so before we go on to the launcher, I would like to explain how the launcher works. Okay, so here we have the launcher. We have two big sections, the gun itself and I'm just gonna call this the generator, because I've checked the wiki and it doesn't really mention what the name of this exact part is. But I would like to mention, like, this gigantic bullet missile looking thing, or generator looking thing, the color separation is done really excellent. The white section, the gray section, the red section, they're all color separated pieces, and they're connected pretty much tight there. So yeah, it cannot fall off by any means. Here we have a cable right over here. The interesting part is that, so inside here is we have the standard black wire cable that we see when we like buy a Psychomu system related kit. So there's the black wire inside there, and on top you put the shoelace, a red shoelace material on top of it, like how the Mark II has in its legs and the beam saber section. While it does work okay, but the wire itself is going to be a little bit longer than the shoelace thing. So if you're having trouble like getting the things in, as you can see, I had some situations where it got really messy to the point where now the shoelace material is now breaking apart right over here. So yeah, it's not gonna be easy, but it looks good. But it's, yeah, I wish it was maybe a little bit longer for the shoelace aspect as well. Or I'm actually considering of just getting a red wire and then just attaching it instead of using the shoelace, because I think that would be much more easier for my life. So yeah. So this section does not move at all, and here are the main three connecting points in the backpack. So the way how the gun works is that it's connected. Here's the main backpack, and here's the gun, and then there's this mid section right over here that connects the gun to the backpack. So these sections, the connection to the gun and the main connection to the backpack, is actually on a plastic ball joint, so you don't need to worry. It can move a lot than you think. So yeah, if it weren't for the like limitations, you can technically go 360. Oh yeah, I think this is a better way. You can go 360 on this one. So here's a ball joint, same connection here as well. So, and then we have this swivel. It's on a these kind of systems, so you can move the gun a little bit more better. So yeah, it gives you a little bit more flexibility. Of course, I don't think it works on this section right over here, but yeah, it does move a little bit better. And then we have this section, which looks like it's a single piece, but you can move like this and this. So I guess this does also help out repositioning the gun on the pose. But I would like to mention, it's not easy posing with the gun. And there goes the wire. Okay, so let's say you got the gun out in the front position. So here's what you need to do. So first of all, you have to open this section up, and then on the back section, also open this section up. And then finally, you have to pull this section up, which doesn't work. Okay, there we go. Now that this time it worked, and here we go. The gun is ready, and then reposition the handle whatever position you want to do so. Here's that blue sticker decal I was mentioning about on the front, And here we have the gun ready. So the handle can move to the side 90 degrees, so no need to worry. And then on the side, there's also another handle, which I wish would kind of move a little bit more to the forward section. But here we have the gun. Excellent looking gun. The red section, the white section, they're all color separated pieces. Even on the front part, this section is a color separated pieces. Definitely did a good job. And when folding the gun, it doesn't just fold in, it actually just folds. It actually locks into place. You can see there's a hole there. This red section actually locks into place like that. Same goes for the back section. You have the peg here, hole there, connect. Alright, so yeah, I'll be right back with the ideal position, or the position that was mentioned on the manual. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with the gunner pose. Now you can see it was kind of tricky, but I think I got it. As you can see, so what I usually do for this is that I will connect the hands first to the weapon. So I have one on the handle. You have to use the trigger finger for this one, and on the other hand, you use the multi-purpose hands for the handle. So you attach the hands first on the handle, and then you just fiddle it around until the hands actually try to connect. You can see the hands are barely connecting. You can see the ball joint's about to come out, and at the start you saw the ball joint was pretty much popped out. But once you get it, it looks pretty okay. I mean, I really like the pose, but yeah, I wouldn't do this multiple times because it's just a little bit stressful. So yeah, I mean, if there's an easier pose or position to do so, just let me know, because I'm not the best person to do with certain poses. But yeah, definitely love the way how this looks. And since we have the gun, let's talk about the weapon, the beam rifle storage mint. Now, so there are some pictures, and even on the manual, it kind of looks like you can store this while having the backpack on. So while you have the gun out, it's yeah, this section is blocking a lot, to the point where and then even if it's not that, this section is actually blocking this section to even go in. So I really can't connect it. So yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm assuming so. The only conclusion I can think of is that you cannot store it or you can kind of force it, but I really don't see. Okay, so I think I almost got it, but once again, there's a lot of stuff colliding here. So I don't think you can actually store the beam rifle while having the backpack on. If I'm doing something wrong, just let me know, because this is something definitely I find a little bit odd. Now, not having the beam axe storage system, I'm fine with that. It's not the end of the world, but I really do hope we will get the other variants of this Zaku Warrior as well. Anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the newly released Master Grade Gunner Zaku Warrior Lunamaria Hawke Custom. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time!